So here we are. Game number 1 of this best of 3. It is the decider game of Group Stage 3. The winner of this advances on into the round of 16 tomorrow. The loser is eliminated from DreamHack Valencia. Spawning down in the bottom left-hand position, we have got the red Zerg player. He plays for Meltdown. It is Stephano. And his opponent to the lower right, the blue Protoss player, he represents Alien Invasion, none other than Patience. So the question on all our minds is a simple one. On Deadwing, a map where going up to 4 bases is a relatively simple ordeal. Will Stephano bring out the swarm hosts? And if he does Patience know how to deal with it? Of course, Stephano, aside from being what many consider the best foreigner ever, is also more recently known as being the longest game player ever. He likes his swarm hosts a lot, especially last season at the start of his, not a comeback, but I finished university for the year, so I'm just going to play some StarCraft and casually crush face period. He was playing a lot of EU ladder, and as he famously tweeted, it took him 1 week to wreck the game. And that he did. Multiple 2-3 hour long games on the EU ladder, and everyone hated StarCraft. Well, they didn't hate StarCraft, they hated swarm hosts. However, will we even get to that point? For the moment, we do have the probe coming up, just getting a little scout around. Going to see that it was a hatch first out of the Zerg. Patience getting a good look at everything that's coming through here. Meanwhile, over at Patience's base, he's about to have a friendly Overlord come floating by. Stephano getting lucky with that first send of the Overlord there. Patience has gone for a gateway expand. He's going into the cybernetics core off the back of that. So not just a gate into a nexus, a gate cyber core, probably then into a nexus. He's got the 1 gas as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see the timing of this second gas, because it will tell us a lot about his plan. There's many builds that are incredibly potent off of just that 1 gas. A lot of early aggression can come through there. So we've got to keep an eye on exactly what happens. Zealot is being produced, may very well get cancelled. It is going to get cancelled, that's good. Generally that's in case you see any kind of aggression coming through and you just want to be safe if a couple of lings come running at you. But of course Patience knows he's safe from that, starts up the Nexus, and nothing too scary is going to be happening to him. That Nexus hasn't been seen, of course, and what? Wait, Stephano, did he miss that again? What? This happened in a game earlier. This happened in Ret versus Mana. I cast that earlier on today, and exactly the same thing happened. I believe it was on Deadwing, where a Zerg player flew over and just didn't go far enough to actually get that information. Assumes that their opponent wasn't spawning there. Has Stephano genuinely done the same thing? I think he has. He's running the lings up to the top right. I can't believe that this has happened twice in one day at this level of play. It's crazy. Anyway, this is good news for Patience. It means he's not getting scouted for a while. He starts up his Stargate. He's in a great position for a Stargate. Of course, he's already scouted his opponent, knows where Stephano is spawning. And this is a very, very interesting situation. Stephano is going to come up here and be like, WTF, where is my opponent? I've scouted everywhere, right? 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 Wrong. He's down in the bottom right. You flew an Overlord there, and it just is nowhere to be seen. So, where do we go from here? Well, Stephano should know something's up. He should be like, hang on, what's happening? Where did I miss something? Oh dear. He's going to go and take a third base, though, because that's what all good Zerg players do. He's like, 6 minutes, I need a third. Might as well take that. I've also got a heck of a lot of Zerglings coming onto the field. Stephano's actually going up to 16 lings. And this front is pretty wide open. First couple of lings coming up, sees a pylon there, sees the mothership core, so he's like, okay, he's definitely down in the bottom right, I can do something about this. The pylon is being avoided, just to minimize the amount of time that these lings can be seen before they come charging through. This does buy more time to try and wall this off, but no cannon. No cannon, no wall off. A lot of lings are gonna be coming through here, and that is gonna be very, very scary. Waiting for them to come forward. Of course, the pylons can see this. The plan was obviously to try and get a little wall off there, but suddenly these units coming through. And Oracle is going to rack up 4 probe kills, but I suspect the casualties over on Patient's side could be a fair bit higher. This is a lot of Zerglings. A force field will go down on the ramp. Photon overcharge triggered. Nice little hidey hole here, out of the reach of that photon overcharge. Unfortunately, Sentry will be able to do some. 2 workers compared to 4. In come the Speedlings. They manage to speed on past before another force field is available. They see that a Voidway is being produced. A couple more probes may actually get killed here. Only a handful. So, not as disastrous as it could have been. That Sentry really did help Patience. If that wasn't there, the force field would have caused a lot of problems. Patience now sitting here with just the Oracle, the Voidway, and the Sentry, completing this wall off at the front to make sure that he's nice and safe. Stephano, on the other hand, he's up at 3 bases. He's getting the 1-1 melee upgrade started, so he's keeping everything going there. Otherwise, this is looking to be a very good game. Starting off, a little bit of aggression on both sides. A couple of slip-ups on both sides as well, so I'm going to be very excited to see exactly what these two are going to be doing. 1-1 melee upgrades is something you don't often see. Oh, another couple of lings coming through here. The Sentry is in position to stop this. It does have energy for a force field as well, so this shouldn't be any kind of a problem. Another Sentry warping in as well will definitely save it. Sees the third base coming down, and getting a good look at that third is really important for Stephano. He now is presented with choices. And information really does allow you to make informed decisions, and that's always important, especially in StarCraft. He now knows, okay, well, my opponent's taking a third, and he can weigh up, is it more beneficial in how I want to play this game to just go and try and kill him? Certainly doable. Or do I sit there and say maybe I want a third? Really interested by what Patience is doing here. Adding a fleet beacon and 2 additional Stargates. Now, bearing in mind the fact that he hasn't seen a spire or anything, has he actually got any scouting information to get a peek on where there's additional gases? Okay, now doing so. Sees a spore coming up, but not seeing a 5th and 6th gas should pretty much say my opponent isn't going Mutalisks. Of course, there's always the threat, and especially with the infestation pick coming down, of the terrifying swarm host Stephano. And these spawn positions would be actually pretty crazy. You could come in both sides of this third, and that would just be painful. So I'm not quite sure what Stephano's got planned here, but we've got Tempest coming out now. Oh wow! Okay, Tempest can reach from here. Tempest can reach from the safety of Patience's base to hit that base, definitely. This is actually huge. This is massive. Patience utilizing a genius build here. Like, seriously, this is insanely good. I don't know what Stephano can really do because he doesn't have any air tech. He's going into those swarm hosts, getting Enduring Locusts down. But he just isn't going to have a response. His only response is to just kill Patience. But if he's going into swarm hosts, that's going to be a fair way off before he has any decent number of those down. And this is a very interesting game. Now, of course, the Tempest range is massive, so they can happily start picking away here. And Stephano, I think, is now realizing the difficulty of his situation. A couple of lings coming through. They're going to counter-attack, realizing these Tempests are here, and realizing that there's 3 of them already. He knows it's triple Stargate, so there's not going to be much else there. A couple of lings trying to pick away at a few of these probes. Photon Overcharge is triggered. A couple of Zealots getting warped in as well, getting that damage through as quickly as possible. Nice couple of shots go through there. Not that much else being achieved. Nice couple of shots coming down on these drones, getting the damage done very, very nicely. We do, of course, have a couple more gateways coming in here. Good number of lings also on the field. There's a lot being produced at the moment, as well as that Spire. Corruptors will deal very well with Tempest, but you've got to get them out. And of course, with the triple Stargate, the Corruptors are going to be a really difficult way to actually utilize that, because you've got to remember, the second the Corruptors are seen, there's going to be Voidway production starting. 4th base is coming up for Stephano. He's taken decent worker losses. He's actually lost in total this game 9 so far. Trying to push in with more lings towards his third. He's lost his 3rd base to these Tempest already. This build is insane. This map is insane in these spawn positions for Tempest. This is just such a smart play by Patience. I really don't see what Stephano could do once this happens. I genuinely don't see any way you could stop this happening, because these positions are just insane for Skytoss. Like, ridiculously good. There's some Vipers coming through, and they're going to be able to abduct, but bear in mind, this is like really late game tech. Tempest's going to start working away very nicely here, picking off a good amount of drones already. Stephano is quite low on his drone count. A couple of the Tempests get pulled, but there's just no anti-air here. There's a couple of Spore Callers. They're trying to pull them through. The Tempest's still staying up, though, for the moment. One should fall here. Second one will also go down. There's more Tempests coming through, but the Hive is not getting focused yet. The Tempests are in a nice position where they actually could. More Consume energy coming through onto these Vipers. Once they had a couple more Ducks, the Infestation Pit being focused, and this is crazy right now. More damage coming through. The Vipers get taken down. Down goes the Tempest. That's getting some bit more fire on it, but Stephano is in a really rough spot here. He's trying to produce a couple of Corruptors, but he's getting 3 out. 3 Corruptors are going to have a horrible time dealing with this. Tempest can outrange the Spore Crawlers by an absolute mile. There's counter damage coming in. There's a couple of Lings trying to be aggressive through the natural and into the main base. So they're doing a fair amount, but as long as a good amount of Zealots are produced, they're not going to do too much. There's 13 Zealots up against 41 Lings. The Zealots will win that fight, and that's before any more get warped in. The Tempests are doing really, really well. There's still the Swarm Host. Is there an Observer? Okay, there's no Observer, so there's actually no way for Patience to kill off those Swarm Hosts yet. He does have an Oracle, though, so he could use the Detection on the Oracle to do so. But it isn't impossible. The Hive is about to fall. That means no more Vipers. Overall, the Corruptor count is up to 5 now. Going to go up to 10 once they're produced too. So that will help things as it keeps going through. The Lings have been taken out. It's still 49 probes to 37. The 4th base coming through. And Stephano just GG's out there. Patience takes game number 1 with an awesome strategy. And is now 1-0 up in this best of 3.